If I remember correctly, last week we have done it before Diwali. And today we are starting, like it's been a week now. Thursday, I believe I've did it. Okay. So let's try to understand first why we need a firewall and why we have to, or why Palo Alto Firewall is a leader in the market nowadays. Okay, so let's try to understand now why we need a firewall. Firewall is basically is needed or required. Like let's say for an example, if I have some traffic. So let me just build some diagram for you guys. So let's say just consider this is a firewall and this is the internet and this is our inside network. So when I say inside network, like let's say it can be a corporate network, it can be a small business network, medium network, enterprise network, whatever. Like you have a huge users who is sitting inside that particular, it may be some application, some database, some employees, some users, printers, so many things are there, like which is part of your inside network, right? So just think about that. And this is our internet. Now on internet, there will be a good user, there will be a bad user. When I say bad user, bad users are basically the hackers, or they have a very bad mind into that, like they wanted to get into the system, they wanted to get information about the system, they want to attack the system. So basically firewall is made to protect against that kind of traffic. So let's say if somebody is trying to attack the network, so the firewall is basically facing in the front. He can understand your attacks and it can protect against that attack. Or maybe let's say if some user is trying to access your network, he can basically see whether it's a authorized access or unauthorized access. Say when I say unauthorized access, meaning that that user is not authorized to, let's say for an example, you're sitting in office, so you are working for, let's say, Intel. Okay, only Intel employee can enter inside the office premises, not others. So same way, now in our company network, if I say in the firewall that you are going to allow only the traffic which I am mentioning here. If you see other traffic, the other where any kind of other traffic, you are going to deny that traffic. So what firewall is doing? Firewall is nothing but it is protecting against unauthorized access or unauthorized traffic, which is trying to enter inside your organization. Okay. Any questions? All good? So what are the key functionality of your firewalls? It can filter the traffic. It can monitor the traffic. So it basically monitors the traffic, like whatever the parameter that we are going to give. So parameter, we are going to talk about what is IP address, what is that, and this port number, all of this, we are going to talk about that. But right now, just understand there are some parameters. Like let's say, for example, if you're going on road and if traffic police catches you, he might ask you driving license or insurance papers and all. So that is a parameter they have. Same way, if that traffic enters through the firewall, firewall will ask, give me your IP address, give me your port number, give me your protocol number, like that. So that information we have to feed inside that. So it can do a traffic filter and it can monitor that particular traffic. Okay. It can also do access control management as well. Okay. Who can log into the firewall, who cannot log into the firewall. Okay. And then threat prevention and detection. So let's say if somebody is trying to attack or something like that, in that case also we can use firewall to protect against it. Network segmentation. So let's say if I have multiple network inside, let's say we have some marketing team, sales team, or different types of team, and I don't want some team to be communicated. Let's say for an example, HR team. He need not to connect to an application development zone, right? So we are going to create some kind of segment that he cannot access that particular zone or he cannot access that particular subnet. So we can have some kind of subnet segmentation for firewalls, right? And also logging and reporting activities. Now logging and reporting, like the firewall will try to give you a log information. Let's say firewall is utilized more, or it has been attacked. There are so many traffic. So basically, it creates some kind of reports that this user is going to this particular website this much frequently, or he's using most of the time over there, or he's using that. And so we can create a report, and with the help of logs, we can troubleshoot if something is not working. Right?
Because you are trying to say that like logging and reporting activities. So if any one users can use more bandwidth, so that we can track it here, or is there any other way to track? So the user is using more data, or is it like that?
Yes. So if I specifically talk about reports, so let's say for an example, if you are creating a report for 1 hour, in 1 hour time, who or which user is using more of the bandwidth or utilization in the report, it will be showing over there. Like what is the IP address, or what is the username, or what is the destination, or what is the port number, it basically shows that.
Okay, it will trigger an alert for this.
You have to basically it not trigger any alert or something like that, that this user is using this much of bandwidth or something. You can basically create some kind of rules which prevents him not to use that much of bandwidth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because, sir,
Yes, yeah, please.
sir, that traffic filtering and monitoring,
Mm-hmm.
the traffic which is comes over the HTTPS, like a DNS over HTTPS, that traffic can be blocked with this firewall.
Come again, what kind of traffic? DNS traffic, you say?
Yes, a DNS traffic comes if any user using the DNS on the browser-based DNS. I'm not asking for the application base. I'm asking for the browser-based DNS add-on that's also available in the Chrome browsers right now. The free
DNS,
VPNs.
browser-based DNS.
Yes,
And
sir.
you said browser based, sorry, what was the other one? DNS
DNS
application
in the
based.
application. Yes,
Okay,
yes. So
what exactly that means over there? Are you
if
talking
if
back file, or are you talking about something else?
I'm talking about the if I was to block the YouTube or Facebook, okay, but my user is just using the installing the one Chrome add-on, that is a
Mhm.
free VPN add-on. This is available in the Chrome Web Store.
That
If
is
they use that is VPN, if they browse, then what happened that the traffic not comes to the firewall. It
Mhm.
bypasses the DNS, and that able user are able to access the internet,
Okay.
and that logs also not coming on the firewall.
Okay.
So this Palo-alto getting blocked that VPN also,
See, that is VPN. That is not DNS. First.
but the protocol this is using na DNS over HTTPS.
Okay.
That
I
that
think.
was that
Yeah.
was that was my knowledge. So
Yes.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay. Now let's say this is firewall, and you are basically connected to some VPN proxy or something like that, right? So you are creating some kind of tunnel with this proxy, and through this proxy, you are going to send some kind of traffic inside this. Is that you're saying? Is this the proxy that you're saying that it works like this?
See, I'm getting internet through the firewall only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but when I'm using the Chrome browser, I'm getting the block website has been blocked by firewall. Okay, then what happened? What I will do? I will install one add-on. that add-on, which is like an ad blocker or something, is available in the Chrome Web Store. So
Ad
what
block.
happened? And
Ad
no,
block
listen,
is something else.
right. I'm just giving an example for the VPN. Free VPN is available on the Chrome Web Store. When I'm just using the free VPN, when I'm just on it, what happened? That whole traffic goes with the VPN application, that add-on, and all traffic gets bypassed the firewall.
Okay, I got it now. So you are saying that it is basically passing the firewall. It actually does not. It is basically not passing the firewall. It is going through the firewall, but you are not having any idea what is the destination IP address he is trying to access. When you try to
Right.
filter based on the source IP address, it basically, because your path will go through the firewall. It like, let's say if route is pointing to the firewall, how the traffic will go, it will not create some kind of destination or some kind of different path to reach the destination. It is not like that, as we are not having any idea where the destination is, and we are basically searching for 8.8 or DNS IP address, and we'll not be able to get it. Okay.
Right.
So
Right.
when we install the extension, we basically know what kind of application it is using. Now, if that application is basically understood by Palo Alto Firewall, mostly it would be, and we can basically block that specific application, and then we can block the specific traffic on that. Now you have to basically tell me what kind of VPN, like, because Palo Alto networks, or Palo Alto, not networks, Palo Alto Firewall can basically understand a lot many applications in terms of proxy application, in terms of collaboration, or different kinds of application it can detect.
One example is the browser VPN, which is a free VPN add-on or extension available in the Chrome Web Store. So when I'm just install the Chrome browser VPN in my Chrome browser, and I just put it on. So what happened? That whole blocked websites are able to open in the laptop.
That's what. Okay. You are not contacting your DNS. You are going through that proxy and contacting different DNS, right? Now your traffic is not understood by the firewall. Okay. Now you are creating some kind of HTTP, as I have told about SSL decryption as well. SSL. So this is basically end-to-end encryption. Now, if that traffic going through the firewall, it only sees that it is going through HTTPS, and this at that HTTPS is allowed, in that case it can go on. So basically your traffic is going through that proxy. It is not going through, or the DNS traffic is going through that encrypted channel, not going through the firewall. Basically it is going through the firewall on a upper layer, but inner layer it is encrypted. So what I'm trying to say is, let's say if I'm talking to somebody in this particular Zoom meeting, let's say I'm talking to Rahul, for an example, and if I'm talking in Japanese, it is going through your ears, but you will not be able to understand, as you don't know the language. Simple.
Right.
Same way, the PC will be talking to the proxy server, but the way he understand that particularly, we have to send the traffic in that particular mode, but it will be encrypted, and firewall will not be able to understand. To understand, we have to do SSL decryption.
After doing the SSL traffic, also SSL decryption, I have installed SSL certificate. Then also it's possible that firewall not able to do this.
After SSL, you install the SSL
certificate also. So I'm talking about the Sophos firewall.
Firewall it is.
Which is Sophos XGS firewall 3300. Okay, so I already raised the ticket. Their development team is working on that. My concern is what the diagnose mode, which is I observe, traffic goes, every traffic which goes to the HTTPS, that is filtered by the firewall. But the traffic which goes DNS over HTTPS, that is not filtered by the firewall. So follow to filter such kind of protocol.
That's what. It basically depends on what kind of, you cannot say that HTTP based on DNS traffic, or HTTP UDP, or whatever the traffic that you're talking about. what kind of application it is. If that is understood, or basically if that application is there, is definitely it can support and it can block the traffic. I cannot, if you say I have to check, I have to look for that application you're talking about. Which application you're talking about? Tell me.
In the Chrome, that's main with the Express VPN and the Browser VPN. You can note it down. Express VPN and Browser VPN
Express VPN.
and the Browser VPN.
Give me a minute.
In the Chrome Web Store. Chrome, just open Chrome Web Store.
And I'm just searching for that application that you're talking about.
It's not an application, it's a browser. It's actually add-on extension.
Yeah.
Chrome
Tell me
extension.
the name of that.
Browser VPN. I put it in the chat also.
Okay, you have put it in the chat. Browser VPN. I guess, yeah, it is there. It is encrypted tunnel. That's what I was talking about. The encrypted channel it is. So browser is a tool bypass network security devices encrypted traffic, and browser also hides the user IP by routing through cloud proxy. That's all. That's what I was telling you guys.
So it's getting blocked by Palo-alto.
It is basically can be detected by Palo-alto Firewall, and can be we can basically create a rule and block that kind of applications.
Okay.
Got it?
Thank you, sir. We can proceed further. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, why firewalls are very critical for modern business, right? Basically, if we talk about firewall are very much critical because we are dependent on network nowadays. I can tell you fully. So even if we are going and buying some vegetable, we are dependent on the network to do UPI transaction, right? So this kind of dependency that we are having. Let's say for an example, just understand for of 1 hour, you don't have Wi-Fi or mobile data in your network. You don't see it. Think about how much like problem that you guys will be facing, or how much like you will be keep on calling the customer care, and to get the internet back, right? So that kind of dependency individuals are having. Same way the companies are also very much dependent on the network, and on the network, if there are good things, there are bad things as well, right? So if we are going on road, there are some good drivers, there are some bad drivers, there are some drivers which can basically create some kind of chaos in the road or something. So to protect against those things, or to have a compliant, we government has issued some licenses to person so that he can drive the vehicle properly, right? So whenever some traffic police catches you, he will ask for license. Same way on internet as well, there are good things, there are bad things. So to protect against that particular bad thing, we need firewall, because we are dependent on the network, and networks are dealing with some critical traffic, right? So there are some malwares, there are some ransomware, there are some unauthorized access that can happen if you are not having firewall into the network, right? It basically protect against your data information, like what kind of data that you can share outside of your network, what kind of data that you can download from outside network to inside. And also we should have a visibility where the users are going, what they are doing, everything. So we should have a network visibility, right? And if you don't have firewall, just think about it. If you don't have firewall, so you are inviting the, just do one thing, take an internet connection, okay? Put your web server, and just without firewall, and see what kind of attack. Just wait for 1 or 2 days, it will be attacked like that, okay? And if you're thinking, I don't have any firewall in my home, I'm protected, I don't have any issue, your ISP is doing the filter. You know, if you're taking Airtel, Jio, or any other network, basically, or local network is also taking internet from the bigger ISPs like Airtel or Jio, right? Or Tata. Tata is BSNL now. So basically, if you're taking that particular connection from that ISPs, ISP do the filtering as well. Okay. Now, why firewall or why Palo Alto Networks leads the market? As we are going to understand how we are saying it is next generation technology, what kind of technology it offers to the users or the networks. Okay. It is AI powered. I will tell you that how AI plays a very major role in firewall. Even it does some kind of live checking as well for the some of the websites. Okay. And it is basically, it offers in every kind of scenarios. It can be you can have on-premise data centers, you can have cloud, right? And you can have any kind of virtual environment as well, right? It can be a smaller virtual environment or any. I'll tell you once we start understanding that the other slides, what kind of services it offers, you will understand that this platform can offer you multiple ways, or it is very flexible deployment. It's not specifically to a specific data center or specific to some cloud or specific to, it is basically PAN-OS can run anywhere. Okay. And also Palo Alto Networks devices will be used by Fortune 500 companies. So if they are trusting Palo Alto firewalls, means, and also the Gartner, like it's an organization which basically tests the firewall on some parameters. They also publish reports on network security. So if you are basically, if the Fortune 500 companies are trusting this particular company, and also if Gartner report is also trusting this firewall, that is the reason, right? And also Palo Alto, if you see how many global customers they have, what is the position in the market, daily how much threat it blocks. So this is the number that it basically combines so many places where he blocks it in the cloud, in on premises, if you have a firewall, if you have a different services where it blocks. And if you see the detection rate, it is 99.9%. That is the reason we basically choose firewall, Palo Alto Networks, right? As we are going to understand why we have to choose, as I have told you, we'll go into details. We'll try to understand further into this. Okay. And it is having a comprehensive protection because it can be covered with any kind of environment. Right now, let's say if I talk about my company, before it was on premise. If I talk about like uh, 9-10 years before, it was completely on premise. Now we are moving to the cloud, right? Before it was virtual environment like VMs, all of this was there, right? They came up with that. Now we are moving into the cloud. Now cloud is also some kind of VM where we are renting the server, we are creating VMs, we are creating VNets and all of this, right? So it can basically support in all of the environment, no matter what kind of environment that you are having in your company, it basically support every environment. Okay. As I have already talked about this advanced threat prevention and proven track record or scalability, as well as expert support. Even let's say if you open a attack case with Palo Alto Networks, they are very highly qualified. Okay. and they will provide you a proper, correct support with correct information. I've seen that. I have experienced it as well, right? And basically they understand the organization demand, what is needed for right now, what is needed for an organization, what is lacking in organization, right? So Palo Alto Networks basically does these kind of research, and they come up with some kind of solutions, some kind of updates, some kind of improvement in their devices, right? Any questions, guys?
Sure.
All good?
Because I have one
Yeah, please.
question.
Yeah.
So how do we compare, suppose in case if we are taking Fortinet product? So how we are comparing with the Palo Alto and the Fortinet, which is the best? Like, because currently we are using Fortinet. So
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to know, like, how do we like describe which product is best for
Yes. Okay.
choosing?
So when we say that why Palo Alto is best in the market, or Fortinet is the best in the market, or Cisco is the best in the market, like they have different kinds of requirement, right? Because as every company, let's say if I say Apple,
Okay.
or if I say Samsung, you will say I'll choose security, or I'll choose Apple because of security.
Okay.
But somebody else will say, no, I choose Android because my budget is not allowing me, right?
Okay.
So basically, there will be a requirement. They are not bad, or they cannot serve you. Like if you're taking a phone, why you are taking a phone? To have the call, or you're connected, basically. So you can do it in other mobiles as well. But yeah, you need security because you have a priority. Same way, as we gonna understand how Palo Alto networks understand the network, how can he filter the traffic, we then only you can figure it out ki what is my priority and what this device offers me,
Okay.
right? Accordingly, we can basically say this is the best for me and this is best for that particular company,
Okay.
right? Yeah. Any other questions, guys? All good? So let's continue further with the other slide that we are going to talk about today. Okay. Just give me around a minute. I'll be back, guys. Okay. Hey guys, I'm back. Okay. Am I audible now, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Now, basically, when I talk about Palo Alto networks, like Palo Alto networks has been divided into three parts. Parts in sense, the parts of their product, what they basically offer, right? So there is something called as Stata, which is securing the enterprise. Prisma, which is securing the cloud. And Cortex, which is securing the future. Now, when I talk about Stata has multiple devices which is specifically related to firewalls. Okay, Panorama. Now, when I talk about firewalls and Panorama is just a manager. Okay, if you don't understand, that is fine. You don't need to basically understand what is Panorama right now. Just understand this is a manager. Okay, and in firewall we can have configuration of Global Protect, which is basically the remote VPN solution. So, what is remote VPN solution? It is nothing but when we are working from home. If you remember, if you know, guys, working from home. So how that is possible working from home? It is only be possible, or it is possible through remote VPN solution, right? So Startup basically offers that kind of services or that kind of technology, and we are going to focus on this particularly, not on this and not on this. Okay. But Prisma basically offers your cloud environment security. It doesn't mean that Prisma only covers the virtual firewall. No. Prisma covers so many other things. Okay. You can basically rent a firewall on, sorry, you can rent a firewall. Like how you rent a server in Azure, right? Same way you can rent a firewall. You can monitor your network, like in cloud. If you have VNets, you guys know, have you heard about cloud? Like, not heard about, have you worked on clouds? Anybody?
Clouds in the sense you're talking about Azure or right?
Azure, or maybe AWS, or maybe GCP, Oracle, or something like that.
No. Currently, I'm working in Azure.
Yes. So
So it's
you have
like
some resources over there, right? You have some VMs, you have some applications, you have some DB. So you have some server storage and all of this are there, right?
yes.
Right.
So
You
we
have
are
to.
managing on-prem as well as the cloud.
Yes, absolutely. Mostly, a lot of networks nowadays at hybrid instance, they have a on-prem and they have cloud as well, both. So we have some infra over there in the cloud, right? So infra to protect that infra, we can use Prisma services to protect, right? Then we have Cortex. Cortex is basically creating a SOC environment in your network. What is SOC? SOC is Security Operations Center, right? So when I talk about Security Operations Center, what does it mean? It means that you can properly set up an environment. Have you been to SOC team or SOC room? Anybody?
In our team, like one of my teammate, she's part of a SOC, and she used to manage that Microsoft Defender, as well
Uh,
as like a Sophos and Proofpoint that she used to handle. But I
mm,
have some idea on Microsoft Defender in case if any alerts comes. So
mm,
how do we like filter? How do we what to say? Find the errors with the help of using IP or URL links. I have
mm.
some idea about that. That's it.
Nice. So basically, in in high level, if I tell you, it is basically a team which basically try to see if any kind of attack that is happening in environment, or they continuously monitor the network. Okay, they try to see the behavior, they try to see the some attacks, they try to build some kind of intelligence. So to protect your environment, that or maybe attack proof, we will have that kind of SOC environment in our network. Now some of the time the SOC team also manages the firewall as well. And in some of the organization, if the organization is little bigger on the size, they will have separate SOC team and they will have separate firewall team, right? So who does not manage the SOC? SOC is basically cyber security. Just think about it. Okay. Now they can do some kind of detection, and also they can do some kind of automation. So they offer automation. It does not mean that you can automate the Palo Alto devices or services things. No, you can automate so many other things as well. Okay. You can do some kind of network traffic analysis, and you can build some threat intelligence in the Palo Alto firewall, so that it can basically give you an idea whether the attack can happen or not, some kind of rules that you can create. That if you see 10,000 traffic on this particular time or this particular day, you feel like it is kind of attack. So usually, let's say on Monday to Friday, you can expect 10,000 traffic, but on Saturday, Sunday, you are expecting only 5,000, but it happened 20,000 traffic on that day. So it is basically a suspicion of attack, right? So we have to analyze, we have to investigate what happened, why the traffic was like this or something. Or let's say if an email is coming and a spam email is coming, why it has come, who has sent it, what kind of file it is in the attachment in the email. So that kind of analysis they does all of this. Okay. So you can, with the help of Palo Alto networks, they offer these kind of services. You can, the devices or the services, you can take these services and you can put in your uh, network. So let's say, for an example, I'm an enterprise. My company name is ABC. If I go to Palo Alto Network for security solution, I can get it. So I can get it for on-prem as a firewall. I can get a Prisma for my cloud infra, and for my attacks, I can have Cortex as well. So complete security package or solution Palo Alto Networks can offer. Okay. Any questions, guys? They don't have any other things, like they don't sell network routers or the network switches or Wi-Fi, like Fortinet, 40 has switches, they have Wi-Fi devices and all. Palo Alto does not have anything, Palo Alto networks. They only deal with security, right? Okay. Now, Palo Alto has some key infra elements, which is very much important, which we need to understand, okay, about it. Okay, what is NGFW?
Next generation.
Next generation firewall.
Next generation firewall. So next generation firewall only covers SATA, right? Prisma is something else. Okay. Now, key element. Let's say, for an example, you are maybe right now you're sitting in your computer or office room, or maybe you are in office, you're sitting in your desk or something like that. Or maybe you're sitting in your room. Now, where you're sitting right now, You know where is my mobile, where is my watch, where is my cloth, how many clothes I have. I know about it. So if somebody takes my watch, or if I am unable to find a watch, I will get to know that something is missing, right? Same way, what Palo Alto has an element or the principle that we should have a complete visibility in our network. What kind of application it uses, which port number it is using, which user is using, user has which IP address. So I should know all of this, right? If I know, if some attacks happens, I get to know very fast that this application, or maybe if somebody takes something from my room, I'll get to know about it, right? So that is the reason we should have a complete visibility of our application. If I know how application works, the chances of attacks will be very, very less. Yes or no? Why? Because I know that key attacks has been reduced because I know what kind of application it uses. Now, if I don't have any idea what kind of application used in our network, the attack can happen because I don't have any idea what kind of application that application might attack some of the PCs. I don't like the firewall will never get to know about it, right? And also we have built some kind of intelligent in Palo Alto Firewall that he knows some kind of common type of attack. So let's say if I talk about our home, what are the possible ways a thief can enter in night? Gate, the main gate, windows, the window, okay, and the terrace, chat, right? So I'll put this gate. I have to made a gate something like it should not be broken. So I have an idea that this is the places where the thief can enter. Same way, I have an idea what kind of or what is the possible way an attack can happen. So that intelligence is already put inside the Palo Alto. So if I know what kind of attack that can be, or I have an idea what kind of application is working in an environment, if something different that is coming in my network and I don't have any idea, I will prevent it. So let's say if somebody is speaking to me in Japanese, that you are a very good boy, for an example. They say that in Japanese. I don't understand Japanese language. So I'll say I don't know. Like I don't understand means I will reject, I will ignore it. Even if that is good, I'll ignore it because I don't have any. So same way, Palo Alto, if he does not understand that application or does not understand the traffic, he simply prevent it because he has no idea about it. So he says, unknown traffic, let's reject or block it. So this is the key element Palo Alto networks follow. Any
Vikas sir,
questions?
Vikas sir, see
Yes.
what happened that you are saying unknown threats or unknown traffic. Right now, one of my experience is that I have one school in the Bangalore. So what happened that there are the boarding schools. We have blocked some keywords. Like any keywords we have blocked we are blocking the keywords with the English language. So what happened that they are just changing the language of the Google from Tamil or just any Kannada language. Then they are trying to search that keywords. Then they are open that websites or keywords. So what
So,
happened that firewall understand the English language,
uh-huh.
and this they are just trying to search with the another language. So what happened that the firewall not able to block that language or keywords.
Okay. So
If I
Google
search
search
it,
over there, na? When
yeah,
you
it's just
open the website, it will be opening in the English, right?
right.
So,
When I ever talk about the keywords like Facebook is a keyword. When I search on the Google, it gets blocked. When I search in Facebook in the Tamil language or Kannada language, it
uh,
gets open. That
how
keywords
it
are
will
not
get
get blocked.
open? How it will get open? Once you
That
open
that,
Facebook,
it,
Facebook will open in English,
that
right?
keywords not blocked.
Huh?
I'm trying to say that the keywords not get blocked.
See, I'll tell you one thing. When you're saying Facebook, what
Yeah,
you're doing some Google search, right?
right, sir.
You're
Right,
just doing Google search and you're getting the results. But you are not going to intended websites, right?
right. I'm not able to website, but
Huh.
when I'm just click on the key, I'm trying to search any keywords like adult words or anything.
Hmm.
That things are cannot get blocked. When I search on the another language, that keywords not get blocked.
I am getting
That
you. Okay, I
yeah, that
totally
images
agree.
that images gets open.
Images gets open, right? Now
Right,
to protect that particular information, okay, let's say for an example, when you are doing it, you have to stop the translator. Like Google Translator is there, right? When you are translating or you're changing the language, if that particular firewall supports a translator, the Google Translator, you can turn that off basically.
then
That will not change.
I will stop the translator.
You have to
But
stop it.
because of the educational industry, that we can't just stop the any kind of translator. For the education industry, I have to use the Google Translator to understand the educational things. People are
You are
misusing that thing.
translating it. When you are translating it, when you're
Mhm.
blocking it something, right? Google Translator will block the language for translating from one language to another language. Okay. Now, when you
Okay,
are putting the when you're putting the words, you have to put the words based on English, not on Kannada or any Tamil or local language, right? So you
right.
can basically block based on the local languages that we are having, the words that is there inside the regional language. How can you block that particularly? Because Palo Alto does not understand the local languages, right? So either you can do that, or either you can, or else like the Palo Alto does not understand the regional language. Even if I go and do it in Chinese or something like that, how if that maybe that will not be able to understand by Palo Alto networks or any other firewalls.
Okay, I understand. It with another language, it will not even understand.
Yes. How? Like if that particular firewall has built in that particular language to understand that particular language, how can you basically ask them to read the regional language? Either you can block that specific application, or I don't think so any other things that you can do over there. And
Okay, I
now
understand, sir.
you're saying like maybe due to some educational purpose, like they wanted to read in Kannada or Tamil or Telugu, I cannot stop the translator. So in that particular case, how can you achieve this?
Okay, okay, I understand that it's not possible then. Okay,
Yes. In anywhere it
okay,
is not possible.
okay. Any parallel, it's not possible. Okay,
No.
that's a parallel. Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other questions that you guys are having? Hmm. So I was talking about that securing the enterprise. Now, when we talk about Stata, what kind of devices or what kind of services they offer, which is described over here. The first thing here, the hardware devices, the VM devices, or the CN devices, which I'm going to talk about tomorrow. The CN devices or the VM devices, what they are, the virtual devices, just think about it right now. And the subscription services, when we talk about subscription services like URL filtering, application ID, antivirus, anti-malware, or wildfire or something like that, right? So that will come under this is basically a license. Okay. Then we have Panorama Centralized Manager. So if we have multiple firewalls, if I want to manage from Panorama, we can do that. Okay. Wildfire is basically an advanced malware protection, which basically what kind of file that you're sending or what kind of file that you're receiving to analyze that file for malware or any other things. Wildfire will help you to analyze that. And Global Protect, as I said, this is a remote solution like Cisco AnyConnect. Have you heard about our Forti client? So this is basically an alternative of Global Protect. Alternative of remote VPN. And then your Prisma Access, you can rent the Palo-alto firewalls on the cloud. So you are renting the firewall on cloud. The traffic will first go to the firewall, which is there in the cloud, and then there will be a policy over there. It filters the traffic, and then you can go on internet. So basically what happens is in your PC, there will be a client, and this client will be connected to the rent firewall, which is offered by Palo Alto Networks. Okay. So whatever the traffic that you are initiating, first it will go to the firewall. Firewall will process your traffic, and then you go to internet like that. So here locally, you don't need any internet. It can be useful for your remote users or remote sites as well. Any questions?